Well, hey guys, how's it going? I'm just going to take this time to make a quick video about the injury I got to my hand. It's pretty much all bandaged up right now. I'm not going to take this off and show you or anything like that, but I'm going to show you guys at the end of this video some footage from the hospital. It's nothing that special or anything, but I thought maybe you guys would be interested. But I'll warn you in case there's anybody that's out there that's squeamish. It's not horrible, like I said. The reason I'm posting this video is just to hopefully make sure that you guys are safe. I've had hundreds and hundreds of flights before this accident ever happened, and I never thought that it would happen to me, honestly, but things happen so fast, and I had kind of a spidey sense in my head telling me that something I was doing was wrong, but I didn't listen to it. So if I could give you guys any type of advice, it is to slow down and listen to that spidey sense. Sometimes I get so excited about flying and stuff like that, it just happens. So the story goes like this. I was working on my X210 the evening before. This is the Relax X210. And I was doing some things with the video. I was changing out my video camera. I was repositioning my VTX. I was depinning my receiver. So I did a bunch of stuff there. And I didn't even realize that I had taken the props off and put them back on again, because I flew this the day before. I was doing some PID tuning on it, and it was flying great. I was just making some changes here and there. I also put an LED light on the back, and you guys will see this on the previous video that I just posted. All the information on that, I'll put a card up here in the corner. But so I went up in the morning time to go fly, and I was going to meet a buddy there. And he also wanted to try out his brand new goggles. He wanted to look at what I was seeing when I was flying this around. And so I put in my battery, I set it down on the ground, and it was slightly leaning to the left just because of the way the battery was sitting. And I went ahead and armed it, and it armed, but then it slowly kind of went to the right side and started skittering off to the right, which is very, very unusual. My quads never do that when I arm my quad. So normally I have this set up to where when I hit a switch, it arms and the blades idle, and that's what you have with air mode. So air mode was enabled. If the quad is disturbed, it starts to try to basically correct that. And so why it was kind of like going over to the one side and scraping the blades, I was, like I said, it didn't compute in my head. So I went over to it, and I held it in my hands like this, and I hit the arm switch. After disarming it, I hit the arm switch, and I held it really steady, and then I disarmed it, and nothing happened. So I thought, okay, well, I'm pretty okay to do this. And what I normally do when I'm trying to figure out what's going on with maybe a accelerometer is wrong, or something was got put back in wrong, I don't know. Usually what I do is after I arm the copter, I'll lean the quad to one side towards this motor, and this one will usually spin up towards this motor, and then this motor, and then this motor. I just try to check to make sure the accelerometer is set correctly, and I've done this hundreds of times, literally. So like I said, I went to arm it again, and as soon as I dipped it towards one side, there's a feedback loop. So and that feedback loop is always trying to keep the copter steady. And as soon as I disrupted that feedback loop, it started to correct, and it corrected really fast. It went basically full throttle. It went full throttle. It's twisted out of my hands, and I can see how this is going to happen right here. This blade hit my first knuckle, boom, boom, and then it twisted out and hit my wrist right here, and went right, and then it just went down to the ground. I disarmed it right away, and I grabbed my arm. Lots and lots and lots of blood. And my buddy was looking through his goggles. I said, "Oh, I got cut." He goes, "Really? What happened?" Because he didn't see any of this happen. He was just looking through the goggles. And I said, "It's bad," because initially I looked here and there's just blood pouring out. Really scared me. And I knew I got cut. I didn't know how bad, but I was just holding it. I grabbed some tissues right away I had a tissue box in my car, so I put my tissues over the top of my hand, and I just held it, and I held the bleeding from continuing as much as I could. I said, try and grab something, a towel or anything. Anyway, I kept looking at it, and as soon as I would move my finger, I could see there was basically a big cut right here that was the most major one. And as soon as I moved my knuckle, it would open up to about a 1/4 inch or so. It's scary. I've had lacerations before, and Luckily, lacerations, they don't hurt too much. It really felt warm and maybe a little stingy, but it wasn't like super painful. So in that respect, I was pretty lucky. I was able to kind of keep my thoughts about me. But here's the other thing is I didn't eat much for breakfast that day. I actually didn't eat anything. And even though I'm really pretty good in emergency situations, because of this lack of food in my body and also just the adrenaline of what was going on, I really, I started almost feeling like I was going to get nauseous, and I started getting kind of tingling on my fingers, and I thought I was going to pass out, so I had to sit down for a while. And that passed in about a minute or two, and I was told my buddy, I said, I have to be honest here, but I think I may pass out here. Anyway, that was pretty intense. My buddy had some Band-Aids in his car. Luckily, he actually put a Band-Aid over my major cut here to actually help it keep closed, and the bleeding slowed down. I was able to get my wits about me. I felt 100%, so I said, okay. I had my dog with me, and I never had my dog with me. I had to take him home first, and then I was driving to the hospital. I'm like, I'm probably going to be at the hospital for a long time, and I haven't eaten, so I had to grab something to eat really quick. And then I went to the hospital. So, and I'm going to roll some footage right here of me in the hospital, so if you guys are squeamish, you can skip forward. Like I said, it's not bad. It's not horrible. It's not really gory or anything like that, but we'll go ahead and skip to that now. Yep. Here's Dr. Kim. He's going to glue my hand back together. What is it called? This
Dermabond.
Dermabond, right on. So there's the main propeller hit right there. It was flapping around pretty good for me when I was at the hill. And there's just the superficial part. So is this a version of super glue?
There we go.
So it's like a one-time applicator thing. You just activate it and then...
Activate it. When it goes through that little filter, it gets activated.
Nice.
And then...
So, the big question here is what did I do wrong? I didn't listen to my instincts as far as why is this copter going like this and almost at full throttle. So I should have listened to myself. I should have taken a moment and sat back and looked at my copter. And if I would have done that, I would have just looked at it, and I would have looked at all four of my blades, and I would have realized that I put these two blades on wrong. So basically I put this blade here and this blade here, which when that feedback loop came on and I twisted it and it tried to correct, basically it throttled up here and it dethrottled here. But when it dethrottled here, since these blades were backwards, it actually accelerated it in the direction that it shouldn't have gone. So even though it's trying to correct here, and as soon as that feedback loop starts, it starts to correct faster and faster and faster. That's why it basically twisted out of my hand and hit my wrist. So I know all you guys, a couple guys said, hey, make sure you take off your props when you're doing things. This was not one of those times. This is me just trying to get off the ground and not understanding what was going on with the flight controller. I thought it was a flight controller. So it was very perplexing to me because I had just flown this the day before, and like I said, I didn't realize I actually took off my props as I was doing all that work the night before. I'd never even remember that. Otherwise, it might have been something that stuck in my head to check. All right, so that's basically it, guys. My buddy also rolled a little bit of film right after this thing happened, and so I'll just roll that here.
Man, he really got some serious here. Unbelievable for just a couple of whacks. I mean, that is some. And the one with the worst one we covered up, and that was pretty damn deep. I don't think we'll take it off. He's kind of cruising right now because he felt a little lightheaded. I would too after my multi-rotor attacked me. Now you can see the...
Yeah, lots and lots of blood. There's a lot of bloody mess down there. Yeah, that's... Alright guys, so be safe out there. Thank you so much to everyone that said, hey, get better, I'm sorry this happened to you. So many of you guys responded on the initial video I took. And by the way, that video was literally 30 minutes after it happened. So you can see my state of mind at that point. But once again, thank you to everyone that commented and say, hey, I'm sorry you got hurt. I read every single one of the comments. I tried to respond to all you guys, and it really meant a lot. So I really appreciate it. So basically, like I said, I still have full function of my hand. Like I said, I was really lucky. So just if you have something weird going on with your quad, just take a second to step back. Like I said, sometimes I'm a little hyperactive and I want to get up and flying, and sometimes I don't smell the roses along the way, if you guys know what I mean. So, all right, thanks for watching my video, guys, and I'll talk to you guys soon. If some of you guys have noticed this in the background, I'm sure you have. This is the Turn G Evolution, and I will have a video on this coming up really soon. I can tell you, it's awesome. So, see you guys soon. Bye.